In this video, I want to show you how to add graphic effects inside of Adobe Premiere. So what I'm going to show you how to do is to add this little bit of text, and we'll see that as it runs on through my timeline, it will also disappear. So let's begin. So I'm just going to come in and I'm actually going to delete that little graphic effect. And what I want to do is I'm going to actually place it onto the video line right here. But what I want to do in order to access this is as I come onto my window here, I'm going to click onto graphics. Now as I hit onto graphics, I can see that I'll have these different options and different choices that I want to work with. So I'm going to focus in on graphic overlays, and what I'll find is I can drag them and drop them to the timeline, and we'll see what it looks like. So let's start with this one. Let's start with the classic live overlay. I'm going to drag and I'm going to drop, and let's take a look and let's see what this looks like. So we can see we have live. Now what's really wonderful is we can click onto this and we can edit it and we can change what it is that it's saying. So I can come on into here and I can click on to the word live and I can change what it says. I can also come in and I can work with the font, with the size of the font, and change it up. So let's change the font and change what it says. So again, I need to make sure that I have my playhead over where it is so I can see what it is I'm doing. And I can come on in here and I can see the way that this is built, that we have these different layers, and that is how this is built. So I'm going to come on in, I'm going to grab the L for live, I'm going to grab this layer, I'm going to double click, and I can come on in, grab my type tool, and I can hover, and I can delete, and I can change up what it says. So I'm going to put in how to make a slip knot. Excellent. I'm going to delete this one right in there. And let's see, let's take this, move it over a little bit. Now just to take a closer look too, if I wanted to work with editing the font, all I need to do is make sure that it is selected, and then I'll start to come in here and I'll get the choice for working with different fonts. If I wanted to change the font, if I wanted to change the size of the font, okay, I could come on in, I could select it all, and let's see what happens if we come in and we start looking at different fonts. We could look at changing the color, we could look at changing the tracking, the spacing of it as it moves on through. So all of these different options. Okay, and just to recap, looking and seeing what it is that we're working with. So I'm really focusing in on my timeline, the program window, so I can see what it is that's happening, and the essential graphics window. So again, if you don't see any of these windows, you can just come on in and click them to open them. Also, what I have here is I've put myself into the graphic. Clicking up to graphics on up here does the same as well. So what I'm doing is I'm browsing and I'm just looking at these different effects that are packaged with Adobe Premiere. And as I take a closer look, I can click and I can see that some of them are these are the different categories. So if I take a look at lower thirds, so I'm going to go for angled lower third. Let's see what this looks like. Again, I drag, I drop it to the timeline. I'm going to drop it right here so I can see it real easily. I'm going to hit OK. Now what this is telling me is that the font isn't there. So if you have Creative Cloud, you could just click to sync fonts, and then the fonts should sync. Usually in order for them, sometimes for them to show up, you'll need to restart your computer or save your project. Not restart your computer, close and save your project. So here we can see we have this one. Kind of cool. That's what it looks like. Because I'm running through it, looks a little wonky, but there we have it. Again, lots of different choices, and if we want to come in and edit them, we can do that as well. Just coming on in and seeing what it is that we have and changing things up. Thanks so much for listening.